Hi, everybody. My name is Dee Lisa. I'm a dream doula.
And my name is Beth BaDour, and I own a company called The Creative Life by Design.com.
Oh, I'm so excited to talk to you. Like, there's another podcast you can listen to all about her health journey. But right now, I want to talk to you about your art because I know you're
Mhm.
an artist and
Yes.
you make things out of your art. That's not just a painting on a wall. Tell us more.
Yes. I was fascinated. I was looking for a company that would make clothing from my art.
Hmm.
And I was on Facebook and I found it. And I was so excited. It's called La Galeriste and it's out of Canada. And when you go to my website, you can learn more about it. But the process is I make a painting, and I can't pull it down off the wall, but I'll make a painting and then I'll take a photograph of it. I send it into the company and they make fabric and then a line of clothing from it. Anything from tops to skirts to dresses to pants to athletic wear for women. So it's a very unique design that when you go out in the world, you're going to be basically the only one that's wearing that wearable art. It's going to be very unique.
That's so fantastic because a couple of years ago I took a class at how to make your art into fabric, and it was
Yes.
a complicated course on using
Hmm.
Photoshop and making a repeating pattern. And
Hmm.
about the time she started explaining that, I was like, I'm
Yeah.
out. I don't
Yeah.
even know what
It's a
she's
lot.
talking about. So you don't have to create the vector artwork to send to the printer. They do that for you.
Yes. Hmm.
Oh, sweet.
Yes. And it's boutique style. It's wearable material that you can throw in your suitcase and it won't be wrinkled. Some of it is more of a cotton based, some of it is more silky, and it's just fabulous to wear. It's very comfortable. And whenever I go out, they're like, "You're an artist, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am. I love your dress. Thank you." So it's always noticed.
So I imagine since you're making the art and sending them, you get some of these outfits for yourself.
Oh, definitely. Yes. It's so
Hmm.
much fun. Yes.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cool. Do they
Hmm.
also make housewares or mostly clothing?
I know they do pillows, aprons, maybe napkins. They don't do a lot. No,
Okay.
they don't do a lot, but
Yeah.
they do some. Yeah.
And you feel like it's pretty durable, like you can wash it and it
Oh,
still has
yes.
the colors. It doesn't like
Yes,
wear out and fade
exactly.
out. Oh, that's
Exactly.
so
Yes.
cool.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Oh,
It's
that's
really fun.
beautiful.
Hmm.
And you're an abstract painter, I imagine.
Mostly, yes. Hmm.
And how do you like to make your paintings? Do you use acrylic or oil?
Acrylic. Yeah. I
Uh-huh.
have not tried oil yet. It feels like it's going to be messy, hard to clean up, and maybe smelly. And I know that's not always the case depending on what type of oil that you use. But acrylics for me are just so easy. And then watercolor, I haven't tried a lot of that either.
Mm.
I'm stuck with
I've
the
tried
acrylic right now.
almost all the things. I'm an oil painter,
Mm-hmm.
and I love when I first my sister was an oil painter before me, and I was like, "Ugh,
Mm-hmm.
it smells so terrible." She goes, "It's just linseed oil. I love that smell." And now I'm like, if I go into someone's studio and they have a painting
Mm-hmm.
that's wet, I'm like, "Oh, I love that smell now too." But yeah, it's stinky and it's hard to clean, and it's
Yeah.
toxic if you use solvents to
Mm-hmm.
clean up your brushes
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
as mediums.
Yeah.
There
And I
is
don't need to do
water-based
that with
oil.
kidney disease.
No, of course not.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's water-based oil paints as well,
Mm-hmm.
and people that use regular oil paints and just clean up with walnut oil or safflower
Mm-hmm.
oil.
Mm-hmm.
So there are lots of ways to do it. But if you like acrylics, stick with
Mm-hmm.
acrylics, girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like how quickly they dry.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
The thing that's different between oils and acrylics, in my opinion, is that when the oil paint is the color that you paint it when it's dry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And sometimes acrylic paint changes the color slightly when it's dry. So when it's
Oh,
wet,
okay.
it might be darker or light.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if it's
Mm-hmm.
darker or lighter, but it's not like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes go back and wait, why isn't that? Didn't I paint that yesterday? Like it
Mm-hmm.
still looks like I didn't want it to look. So there's a little bit of that, but I don't think it matters too much if you're abstracting. you still get what you want.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
And sometimes I do things uniquely. Instead of going to Michael's or Hobby Lobby or those kind of places, I go to secondhand places and I'll find a canvas that somebody had painted and maybe it's $3, $5, $10 instead of like 80, $100,
Yeah, that's
right?
smart.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And then I gesso over it. Sometimes I honor the painting and the painter who painted that by keeping the edges of the
Mm.
painting the original from the original painting. Other times I incorporate a painting where like one, I wish I could expand this, but not today. So let's do what we can today. It was a picture of flowers, a painting of flowers, and I turned it into butterflies.
Oh, that's
So I
cool.
used the same canvas, but I changed it so it was mine. So sometimes
Hmm.
I have fun with doing that with paintings, you get at Goodwill or something like that.
I have a friend who finds paint by numbers paintings at the Goodwill
Yeah,
stores,
yeah.
and she just adds elements to it. Like it'll
hmm
be a pastoral scene. She'll add some horses or
Yeah,
something,
yeah. Why
or
not?
I don't know, a zombie in the corner.
hmm
And she's like,
hmm
paint by numbers, it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And some of those paint by number paintings are really beautiful scenes. And so
They
she
are. They
she
are.
enjoys finding those in
hmm
junk stores.
hmm
Yeah, that's smart. I started painting this year on cardboard just for the fun of it.
Okay. hmm
Now, if you're just going to paint on something and you want really a cheap base, try a cardboard box.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. 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 I have done
Except for
something
where
like
it
that.
folds. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 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 I have done something like that before where um, I'm a belly dancer and I use the veils.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I would tie dye the veils to make them their own and unique. And then I didn't have canvas one time and I thought, what could I paint on? What could I paint on? I was like, I can paint on the silk.
Yeah.
So I had a pastel um, paint and it was more of a water base. It wasn't acrylic. I can't remember what it was, but I started to paint with that on the silk. Now it bleeds a little bit because it has water in it. It would bleed, but I made some beautiful veils and I signed them and I've sold some of those and it's a painting on the veil.
That's so
And
cool.
it's really fun. And I know that there's different techniques to paint on silk. So this isn't like this is more of an organic that I did myself. It's not a technique that's out there that people learn to do. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think that if you're a painter of fabric, there are certain ways to do it. So it still
Yeah.
has its beautiful fabric,
Yes.
whatever, and
Yes.
it's with
Yeah.
toxic dyes and paints.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, recently in my art studio, I was using some stencils to put the same shape over and over
hmm
on a painting.
hmm
And when I put them down on the floor or on another canvas to wipe them off, I got a really
hmm
cool shape. And so then I thought,
Yeah.
oh, wait a minute. I could just like use when I'm wiping up my stuff as
hmm
something cool. So I'm going to
Yes.
make something out of it. I'm not sure what.
Yes. So
I
much
think
fun.
pillows. So
hmm
I bought some
hmm
canvas just
hmm
to wipe off my stuff on. But
Yeah.
yeah, when you're making a painting and then when you're wiping it off on the rag
hmm
or wiping
hmm
your hands on your
hmm
apron, they all make
hmm
such an interesting design.
Yes, I've had some of my friends have the same shirt that they've worn painting for a long time, and then they'll sell it.
I
People
know
want to
it's
buy it,
beautiful. Yeah.
It's
Who doesn't want to
crazy.
buy the artist smock?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So on your website, people can find your fabric
Oh,
designs as
definitely.
well?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, yes. And I have to say, another fun thing that I did, I don't know who else your audience is, but I have been in recycled fashion shows. So what
cool.
they do is they take any recycled material and they make an outfit out of it. And then you have your model who goes down the runway at an event, and it's really, really fun to see what people come up with. And I did ribbons on to make a dress out of, and it was really, really fun. Like I wove the ribbons together and then had frilly stuff and stuff. So with art, you can imagine and you can do almost anything that you want to do. And if you can apply that to your life, how fun is that, thinking outside of the box? And I
I
use it
love
with my
that.
healing, with my other side of my business, with coaching and healing people. Art can do so many things to heal people. How do you feel when you paint? You're invested in that painting and you're there in that moment. And with me, I work with people with chronic diseases, and they're not thinking about their chronic diseases. They're thinking about what they're doing with art or visualizing the art and how they feel with that painting. So you
Oh,
can
that's
use
so
art
beautiful.
so many different ways.
I do agree with you that when you're in that, I call it when you're in the energy of creativity, which I believe everyone can channel that. It's like
Hmm.
love, love,
Yes,
creativity, joy,
yes.
all these feelings that you can feel in your
Hmm.
body. When you're in that creative zone, you're nowhere else. You're right
Exactly.
there. Unless you're maybe a trained artist and you're listening to your teacher's voice in your head going, where's the
True.
darkest dark? Where's the lightest
True,
light?
true, true.
Uh, if you
Mhm.
don't have that going on, there's a certain moment where you're just in it, and then you realize later,
Mhm.
like I wasn't anywhere, or I
Mhm.
was here. I was like, well, how
Mhm.
much time went
Yeah.
by?
Hmm.
A friend of mine in Seattle said, you know you're in the zone, meaning in the creativity zone,
Hmm.
when you decide to break for lunch and you realize it's 8 p.m. in your art studio.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I
Yeah.
haven't quite lost 8 hours,
No, I
but
haven't either.
I, I've I've lost myself in art
Mhm.
making quite a lot, and it's just a beautiful place to be.
Mhm.
I'm glad to hear that you use it in your coaching,
Yeah,
because I think the more people that can embrace creativity, the happier the whole world will be.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing your art with us. I
Yeah.
really appreciate you, Beth.
Hmm.
Okay.
Anytime.
Bye,
Thank you.
everybody.